Mary, David, welcome to McCartneys in Ludlow. It's lovely to meet you both.
Thank you.
As a company, McCartneys, we're very proud to be supporting Mind this year as our chosen charity. Our roots are firmly in the local community, and we're aware in a rural area that mental health issues in terms of people working on their own, particularly in farming, can be an issue. So we felt it was something that was very close to home for us. So tell me, when people talk about mental health issues, what are we talking about? What does it mean?
I think most people think it's immediately mental health problem. When you say mental health, people think it's something to do with other people that are poorly with their mental health. And one thing, stigma busting that we always try and do, the first message we try and give people is that mental health belongs to us all, we all have it. It can be good and it can be bad, same as physical mental health. And we've got to do things to look after it and keep it good. We've got to look after our mental health as well as our physical health. And I think you could talk about biology, and there is a lot of research looking at chemical imbalance, for example, and the biological medical side of it. But for me personally, and for the people that use our services, it's about life really. It's about difficult life experiences and how they affect you.
Okay. So do you hold regular weekly meetings? Do people get invited? Can you just walk in and turn up if you think you need help? How would somebody who was struggling, what would their first step be?
So it depends a little bit on what the individual's needs are. So the first port of call is making a call to us, contacting us via our social media, and we look to see what service would be the best fit for that individual. Everything that we do is what we refer to as recovery focus, which is about putting the individual at the centre of anything else that may be going on around them and trying to tailor something to fit. So those services may be a weekly group, it may be one-to-one work in their own home, it could be a variety of things.
So Mary, David, we're hoping to raise lots and lots of money for you this year, along with, I'm sure, all the other donations that you receive. So are there any specific projects in your respective areas that perhaps our funds, the funds that we raise, might go towards?
So for Powys Mind, we would like to allocate the money you've raised to our counselling service, particularly to that one. It's very much in demand. It's often what people first think about when they want help with their mental health problem. So we've got quite a waiting list, and we'd like to address that for the people of Powys.
Is that face-to-face counselling?
It is, one-to-one, face-to-face.
One-to-one. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
David?
For us, we are very keen on expanding our young people work. We're very keen on early intervention and prevention of mental health issues, so we would like to allocate the funds to a whole school approach project that we are developing at the moment to work with secondary age young people to address the concerns around mental health that they have.
And that's you physically going into the schools,
talking, supporting one-to-one work, some teaching, some training of staff, and also governors, head teachers. So it's a whole school approach, and it lasts over a period of time, so that it's not just a today is mental health day and then we walk away. So that's what we'd like to do.
So McCartneys, we've sort of chosen you as our nominated charity, and we're doing a number of events. We thought about a duvet day for staff, so you buy a raffle ticket and get a day off. A fancy dress day, which could be very dangerous. We're doing a charity bike ride on Hay and Brecon Canal. Some people are on bikes, I'm walking because I think that's more sensible. But is there, apart from the fundraising things that we can do throughout this year, is there anything practical that McCartneys could do?
I think for me the main thing is anyone that you come across, any of your customers that may come into your agents or your livestock markets, that you notice they're not quite themselves, that they're different to how they usually are. And if you notice that, that's the main thing to look for, I think, with poor mental health, is that change in the norm for that person. If you notice they're significantly different to how they usually are, take them aside somewhere quiet if possible, and just say, you know, I've noticed you're not quite yourself at the moment, you're withdrawn, or you're not talking like you usually do. are you okay? You know, what's going on? And that might be a colleague that as well as a customer.
Yes.
And just to talk to them and give them that time. And I think what we hear back from people that use our services is if you can listen to them in a non-judgmental way, so just hear what they've got to say and just really pay attention to what it is they're saying so they can get it off their chest.
Yeah.
You don't have to be an expert, you don't have to know what to do,
no,
just listen. And I think, you know, that helps so much for people that are struggling.
Yeah.
I'd absolutely mirror that. You mentioned at the start of our conversation about concerns for people working in agriculture, and there are some quite frightening statistics around that. The biggest killer of men under the age of 45 is suicide, and within that, the largest percentage of men that take their own life come from some form of agricultural background. So I think I'd absolutely reiterate what Mary said. Do not ever be afraid to go, is everything okay?
Yeah, which we're not so good at, are we?
No, indeed.
Or people go, how are you? And you go, fine.
Yeah.
And then you don't.
Yeah, good old English reserve, all of that. But actually, it is okay to ask.
Yes.
And the first time they may go, yeah, fine. Next time you see them, and you may still have a concern, and you ask them again, that might be the opportunity that they need to go, yeah, actually, I'm worried.
So if people are having an issue or feeling a little bit lost, where do you find is their first port of call? What, in your experience, what do they do?
So for the NHS, the first person to go and see is your GP.
Right.
Go and see your usual GP, or if perhaps if you don't have, if it's a practice that doesn't have a usual nominated GP, you can ask the receptionist which GP is best trained in mental health.
Yes.
And it's certainly a question worth asking because different GPs have different specialities.
Yeah.
So it's worth asking that question of the receptionist. But go and see your GP. That's the first person to go and see, or come and see us. Both.
Okay. So David, if somebody wanted to come and see Mind, talk to somebody from Mind, how do they contact you?
Okay, so for Herefordshire Mind, we've got a very comprehensive website. So if you search for Herefordshire Mind, you will find us. There's a huge amount of resource on there, together with contact details, email addresses, telephone numbers. If you don't have access to the internet, you can contact us on our main phone number, which is 01432 271 643. As I say, a lot of information is now available online. That's why we always recommend that you go through a local Mind's website so that you've got access to trusted resources and information.
Yes. Okay. If somebody wanted to contact Mind Mid-Powys, what telephone number do they contact you on?
So our main offices are in Llandrindod-Wells,
right,
and the number is 01597 824411. We have a website with all our information and everything that we do on there, www.midpowysmind.org.uk, or just pop in and see us. You're in the centre of Llandrindod.
Okay, lovely, thank you.
And I think from our perspective, that first off, it's great that you've taken us on as your charity of the year, but I think because of those conversations that you have in your offices and in the markets, it's another way of raising awareness.
That might be more important than, or as important as whatever we can manage to raise for you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Hopefully.
And that's what it's about. That's what it's about.
Okay. Well, thank you both very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.